Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all good? I hope so. Y'all, let's get into episode 8 of Divorced Sisters, and it's titled Birds of a Feather, and this is the mid-season finale. I know the app says season finale, but when they first introduced the show, they said that it would be 16 episodes for the first season, so I'm gonna call it the mid-season finale, and I hope y'all been enjoying these reviews. I've been trying my best not to be like playing Siskel and Ebert and trying to nitpick everything that Tyler Perry do. I just like watching TV for the stories and the conversations that you can have. So let's get into this episode. So we pick up right where we left off with Naomi calling herself putting everybody in their place, or as some people like to say, calling folks out. So after she asked Rashida if her little Bible was going to get her out of that situation with Myron talking about how much he loves Jeff and he knows Jeff loves him, Rashida asked her, "That make you feel better?" Naomi gonna say, "I feel good. I feel fine." And it's the way she said it that let me know that she was on some bullshit. Rashida tells her that she knows she's hurting and that she wants everybody else to hurt. But baby, I'm good on you. And Naomi is acting like she don't understand why Rashida has a problem with what she just did. Talking about, I'm not the man that's knocking boots with your man. Rashida asks the girls if they believed it. Bridget says no. Tiffany says that there are rumors that Jeff and Myron are real close and it's all over town. And Rashida's like, so y'all knew this, but nobody bothered to say anything to me? And I'm like, hold up, Rashida, because that's the same thing Tiffany is going to be saying to you once she finds out about Javon and Geneva and how y'all been playing in her face. Naomi gonna say that she thought Rashida knew, but the gaslighting is real at their church. But Rashida was not about to let a rumor go unanswered because it could get bigger. And I remember I was wondering if Rashida was gonna believe what she heard Myra say on that security camera, if she was gonna believe what Jeff said about not being attracted to Myra, he put it on his kids, or was she gonna be like, you know what? Let's get them in here and clear this up right now. And that's exactly what she did. She called Jeff and Myron in the house. Now, while she's calling them in, Naomi gonna tell Tiffany that she was looking out for Rashida and just telling her the truth. Now, that is gaslighting because she was not looking out for Rashida. She was doing exactly what Rashida said, hurting people because she's hurt. She wasn't trying to be her friend. She was trying to bring them down to her level. Because when Rashida first walked in, Naomi was being sarcastic with her when she said, "Oh, so you finally made it, but you went to the hospital first." Then when she said, "Y'all over here talking about checking on me and being here for me, y'all ain't happy either." Those were red flags, because either you want them to be there for you or you don't. Either you're happy that your friends are being there for you and seeing you through your bull, or you're not. Or maybe whatever is going on in their lives isn't as horrible as what you feel like your life is in the moment. You want them to be hurt just as bad as you are. So y'all can have a waiting to exhale moment sitting around the bonfire or something. Because if what you were doing was helping her, she better off hurt. Because with a friend like you, baby, she don't need no enemies. So Jeff and Myra walk in, and Rashida tells Naomi to play the video back. And she couldn't wait to push that button. Myra, he couldn't do nothing but drop his head. Jeff is looking at Myra like, what is this about? So he asks Myra like, what's up? Were you talking about me? Myra gonna say, I was talking to my wife. I was like, bruh, your wife? Are you serious? Like, is that your final answer, Myra? Now, unless y'all have a lavender marriage, then I can see it being your wife. But I don't think it was your wife. I really don't. And I bet you if they said, okay, let's get it back on the line, you would have came up with something else. So Naomi asked Jeff and Myron how long had they been effing. Jeff wanted to know who believes that. Geneva wanted to know from Myron who was he talking to. But Rashida says the better question is, are you in love with my husband? Myron says no. Rashida says yes. This man gonna say, I love taking care of him. And you too. I love taking care of the both of you. Myron is, boy. So then Jeff asked him if he was the one who sent the email about someone close to him being in love with him and that person would do whatever he wanted. Geneva asked him if he still had the email, and if so, she could track the IP address. Jeff said he wanted to make it clear that he don't rock like that. He loves women, and Rashida is that woman. End of discussion. Rashida lets Naomi know again that she is done with her, because as long as they keep sitting in that mess with Naomi, they're going to stink just as strongly as she does. So they leave, and they left Myra to catch a ride with Bridget. Then there's a knock at the door, and Naomi got served. Franklin is suing her for assault with a hefty price tag of $50 million. And once again, Naomi is not taking it seriously. On the car ride home, Rashida is telling Jeff that he's so naive, because Jeff does not want to believe that Myra sees him like that. Jeff is considering firing him, but Rashida wants him to tread lightly because they don't want to mess around and get sued. So he asks Rashida what would he do without her. She don't say be in love with Myra. Jeff was like, all right, now stop playing, girl. But Rashida was still over there cracking them jokes on about Jeff and Myra. So then they get off Myra, and Rashida pulls out a tinkle cup out of her bag, and she tells Jeff that he has to talk to his son because the boy is getting out of hand. She don't want none of that nice guy talk. She want him to cuss him out and snatch a knot in him if you have to. So over there in the car with Bridget and Tiffany, Bridget says that she sees the way Myra watches Jeff, but Rashida has a good eye on him. Then they talk about that Miss Naomi pulled and, Franklin having her served. They don't feel like Naomi really understands how messy this could get, and Bridget says Franklin could really win and take all her money, and if that happens, she really gonna be pissed. And Tiffany already know how that feels because she has to pay her ex-husband $600 a month, and she said it doesn't feel good at all. So they pull up at the church. Tiffany thanks Bridget for the ride, but as Bridget is walking to her car, she sees Myra sitting in his car crying. He think he's gonna get fired, but Bridget tells him to just come to work tomorrow and just be honest with who he is, whether he's gay or bi, just be his true and authentic self. Bridget wants to know, why was he talking about Jeff like that? Myra is standing 10 toes down that he was not talking about Jeff like that and that he was talking to his wife. Like, he really wants them to believe that he was talking to his wife. But Bridget tells them again to stop lying. Just come to work and be honest. Because Rashida can see straight through him, even if Jeff can't. Then Jeff and Rashida pull up, and I bet you Jeff opened that door for her. I don't know what it is about Myron, but they need to keep that good eye on him. So Bridget tells Rashida that Myron thinks that they're going to fire him, and that she apologized for what Naomi did to her, and Rashida made it clear again that she done with Naomi. So Tiffany, she made it home. She get a call from Javon. He tells her that he likes the house and he wants to put the offer in on it. Then he asks her how spontaneous was she. She said that she'd go in a heartbeat. That man said, let's go to Italy with William and Geneva. Tiffany couldn't believe that's where he wanted to go. So she goes from having to babysit Anika to, we just met, to she gonna call Geneva. But Javon says, look, let me talk to William because it's easier to talk to William than it is Geneva. Then we see Naomi calling Hakeem and telling him to meet her at the bank. But why is this girl at the hospital? And on top of all that, she brought Lindsay some black flowers. And this is exactly what the ladies were talking about. She won't move on. She won't let it go. She went there trying to push Franklin to put his hands on her, but he wasn't going for it. So he calls for the nurse, who tells Naomi that she needs to get out because Lindsay has open wounds and she may infect her. But this chick turns around and smacks Lindsay in the back with the flowers, then take off running. Naomi is eating. And I'm starting to wonder if Naomi is really upset that Franklin left, or is she more upset that he left her for a white woman? Because she always want to point that part out. So over there with Rashida, Tiffany calls her to let her know that Javon invited her to Italy with William and Geneva. Tiffany thinks it's a good idea. Rashida, not so much. She wants Tiffany to really get to know Javon before rushing into anything. Naomi makes it to the bank. She shows Hakeem the money, and he can't believe it. He thought she was lying. He wanted to hold it, but she wasn't about to let that happen. So he says, what make you think that I won't bop you upside your head and take this money? And she let him know that when she chose him, it was intentional because she ran a background check on him. She knows that he's still on probation, and she know what he went in for. He tells her that he got to at least get that $10K. She said she wasn't going to give him nothing. So he cussed her out and left. Now over at the church, Myron goes in to tell Jeff that he's there to clean out his desk because he knew Jeff was going to fire him. Jeff told him that he would be wrong, but he wanted to know who was Myron on the phone with. The only thing Myron would tell him was that it was a man who worked at the church, but he wouldn't tell him who. Jeff asked Myron if he was GAY, but Myron says he loves his wife, to which Jeff said, you can love your wife and still be GAY. He wants Myron to see a therapist so that he can work out whatever he's trying to suppress within himself, but he also lets him know that whatever feelings he has towards him, that will never happen in this life or the next. Now, Myron is grateful that he still has his job, but he wants to know, how does Rashida feel? And Jeff tells him that she'll talk to him when she's ready, but he better be ready because it won't be nice. Now, over there with William and Geneva, William has a surprise for Geneva, and the surprise was a chef, and that chef was Javon. He's showing William how to make a flank steak. Javon asked Geneva if she wanted a taste, and Geneva said that she'll wait till dinner. Now, why did Javon say, "Oh, then I won't get a chance to see your beautiful face when you bite into this juicy meat?" And I was like, wait a minute now. And here go William, old goofy tail, talking about, "I'll try it." Like, William, are you not picking up on this? You're just as slow as Tiffany. Then William tells Geneva about Javon's idea of him and Tiffany joining them on the Italy trip. Geneva says that Tiffany's supposed to watch Anika, but William said, "Look, I'm not already cleared that with Rashida." Then all of a sudden you hear a thump and Anika starts screaming. All of them start running out. The nanny is rushing in holding Anika, and she lets them know that she fell off the swing. Rashida makes it home and she sees her son in her room. He was going through her nightstand. She asks him what was he doing, and he lies, talking about he wanted to borrow a tie for Sunday. And Rashida points out that obviously the ties would be in the closet. She asks him what was in his hand, and this boy stole some money. She takes it and he asks her why was she being like that. Then he tells her, "You ain't gonna miss that little money." He says he needs it because he's going to the movies with his friends. She want to know if the boy is on that stuff. So he tells her, no, he's not. So she's like, "Look, I need you to pee in this cup." He said, "That's stupid," and he ain't peeing in no cup. He wasn't trying to hear nothing that she was saying. So he grabs her up, talking about, "Don't make me hurt you. Just give me the money." She was in shock at first, but she snatched away from him and said, "Boy, if you don't," then he wanted to apologize and walk out the room. Now, the daughter, she was watching from the doorway. She is like, "Mom, are you okay? Are you okay?" Rashida says yes, but it's clear that she not. And I'm wondering, what is up with the son? Because if you think about in episode 5, when Rashida stayed in the car overnight and the kids were leaving for school, when they were walking out, the sister was like, "I'm going to tell them, you need to stop." And he said, "Well, I'm going to tell them too." So he's up to something. We just don't know what it is. So now over at the hospital, they're starting to get antsy because they feel like it's taking too long to get some info about Anika. Sarah apologizes for what happened. She said that she only looked away for a minute. William, he's understanding, says Anika is a kid. These type of things happen. Geneva gonna have the nerve to tell Sarah that she should have been more careful and don't forget that Anika was a preemie. Then she tells Sarah to go home. Geneva, shut up. That girl almost 6 years old. And if anybody needs to be more careful, it's you. I ain't seen you with that little girl ever since you picked up that day for school. You too busy running around trying to make William a cheater, mad at Tiffany, and obsessed about Javon. Then Tiffany rushes in and Geneva is not happy to see her at all. So Geneva tells Tiffany and Javon that they can leave because this should only be family time. Tiffany can't believe she's asking her to leave. She's like, "We are family." Tiffany sees Anika as a niece and she's pleading with William like William, really? And he's basically like, "Hey, my hand's tied. She wants you to leave. What can I say?" So then the doctor comes out to let them know that Anika is going to need a blood transfusion and that it'll be better if it came from the parents. Now, when she said it, she was like, "It'd be better if it came from the parents." And she's looking directly at Geneva, like, "Girl, are you picking up what I'm putting down?" William says he'll do it because Geneva hates needles. The doctor still pleaded with Geneva. Then the doctor finally says, "I'll just get it from the blood bank." William wants to know what's up because I'm telling you as her dad that I'm going to do the transfusion. Geneva gets an attitude with the doctor and tells her to let William do it. Here's my problem. When Geneva got mad at William because she thought that he wasn't calling her a good parent, in this situation, I don't care how scared you are of needles. If somebody tell me that my baby needs a blood transfusion and they looking for me to do it, let's go. That's all you gotta say. Say less. Which way we go? She up here want William to do it. Looking at the doctor like, "What's the problem?" So the doctor is trying to give Geneva another out. So she asked Geneva to come with her. Geneva says, I'm not going anywhere with you. I was like, all right, boss hog. The doctor keep looking at Geneva like, God damn, girl, are you not understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth? So at this point, the doctor's like, you know what, forget it. Anika is AB, so we need an AB donor. And Geneva is still throwing her hands up like, okay, what's the big deal? Geneva, girl, blues couldn't even give you the clues. And that's when William says, but my blood is type O. There's no way my child would be AB. And the doctor's like, He says, I know that for a fact. So tell me what is going on. So the doctor gives a side eye to Geneva like, you gonna tell him? Or you want me to tell him? And what would be really messed up is, what if Anika isn't Javon's child either? That would be really messed up. Because I don't understand why Geneva wasn't picking up with what the doctor was saying. And the doctor comes off like maybe she's their primary care doctor, or she was her OBGYN, or she was the doctor that helped them with the IVF, because she seems very familiar with the family and their medical history. So I understand why Geneva wasn't getting it. The lady was like, come with me. I think Geneva should do it. She is like jumping up and down without jumping up and down. And Geneva was just, her attitude was so messed up that, hey, now your husband know that ain't his baby. The little girl that he loves so much, he just found out that's not his little girl. And people are so busy feeling a way about, well, why she got to have a CT scan? Why she got to have a blood transfusion? I was like, oh my gosh, y'all are getting on my nerves. But we can talk about that in another video. This was the last video, or the last episode for this season of Divorce Sisters. Get down in the comments. Tell me what you thought about it. Who's your favorite character? Who's your least favorite character? And I'll talk to y'all later.